A lot has been made of Carson Macedo struggling with the World of Outlaws this year, but the numbers tell a slightly different story. We discuss it on today's edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 90 at 9. Carson Macedo is on a bit of a heater of late, winning 3 of his last 4 races and landing in the top 4 in 10 of his last 11 World of Outlaws starts. It got me thinking a little bit about Macedo's season, so I crunched some numbers and realized it's not as bad as everyone thinks. Sure, Macedo isn't qualifying as well as he did a year ago, and he's making less dashes. But the California driver is passing more cars in both heat race and feature action. Plus, his A-main consistency is still there. In 2022, Macedo finished in the top 5 55% of the time, and he was in the top 10 at an 80% clip. A year ago, those numbers jumped to 62.5% in top 5 finishes, and he was in the top 10 85% of the time. Fast forward to this year, and the Jason Johnson Racing driver is in the top 5 a hefty 70.9% of the time, and he's batting about just under 82% in top 10 finishes. See, it's not all bad, especially when you consider the increase in top 5 finishes. Now, that doesn't mean Macedo doesn't have work to do. He has 22 races left, and he has 3 wins behind last year's total of 9 victories and 8 behind the 14 he won in 2022. Despite the lack of wins compared to that 2022 season, Macedo and this team are just fine, especially when you consider that car owner and crew chief Philip Dietz had to replace 2 crew members coming into the 2024 season. Look for Macedo and company to keep winning and finishing up front when the World of Outlaws head to the West Coast in a week and a half. We close with an update on Chase Johnson. The breathing tube has been removed, and Johnson's been able to communicate with minimal words. It was also discovered that he has a small C1 fracture. According to the update, Johnson is showing incredible strength and determination through this process. We wish them the best. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Sprint Car Unlimited 90 at 9, and we'll be back tomorrow. Stay tuned.